everyone, and welcome to a brand new edition of the MSG 150 at Home. Great to have you with us. Hope everyone had a great holiday weekend. Bill Pidto, along with Michelle Gingras, Wally Szczerbiak, and Hahn. Before we go any further, we want to give a huge thank you to all the doctors, all the nurses, all the hospital workers, all the policemen, all the firemen, all the EMTs who are on the front lines of fighting this pandemic. All the best to all of you who are helping everyone get through this. Hope everyone's doing well. Wally, in this Friday show, and Hahn was so annoying repeatedly trying to sell his Islander books. It was unbelievable.
And Knicks. I mean, I do have a few others I could hold up if you want me to.
I was hoping that we would start the show with it. We can make it a thing.
Oh, I could always find
No, Hahn, I mean, this is just insufferable. Did you get any sales at all from Friday?
It's still. Rumor has it he's buying chainsaws and cutting down trees around his neighborhood. I mean, I can't stop.
This one's a good one, a foreword by Bernard King.
We're going to talk about later in the show.
Good plug.
Hahn, did you cut down trees this weekend or what?
Yes.
And how'd that go?
I'm good.
Great.
I'm good. Chainsaw worked. Fingers still intact. Tree is down, and good because of the weather that we're getting today. That tree probably would have come down on its own. So lucky me.
Yeah, I like to say when it's icy, it's dicey, but there's no ice and it's still dicey today.
Yeah.
So, Alan, you've written some books about the Islanders, and big news for the Islanders is Ilya Sorokin, their goalie from Russia. His contract expires April 30th. Reportedly, he's not going to resign in Russia. That means he can sign with the Islanders on May 1st. But it's important to note that Donald Fear, the head of the NHLPA, said over the weekend that no one can sign now for the rest of the season. So while Sorokin could sign with the Islanders, unless the rules change when they restart, and if they restart the season, he won't be able to play till next season.
Yeah, but the main thing is just getting him signed. That has been the biggest trick since they drafted him in 2014. It's been continually that each year they were hoping to bring him over, and each year he would sign an extension with his team in Moscow because, and I was talking to Valley today, Steve Valiquette, we'll have him on later in the week, and asking him about it because he's got the best experience, of course, and best eye when it comes to goaltending and also NHL news. And he said, there are some players who are just happier in the KHL. They're comfortable there. He's a superstar over there. He's going to be 25 years old by next season. But for the Islanders, this was very important. It's the reason why they signed Varlamov. They were sort of hoping that he could be a lure for Sorokin, someone that could be a mentor for him. And we think it has worked out. You're right. They can't sign until after his contract expires April 30th. But the main thing is that now they have the opportunity to do it. And if he's ready to play next season, not this season, that's a big deal for the Islanders. And it sets up for a very interesting rivalry now between the two Russian goalies, as the Rangers have Shesterkin, and now the Islanders would have Sorokin. And these are two goalies that know each other well, have grown up together through the Russian hockey program. And now they could end up going head-to-head in one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
So everyone is craving competition. Last night, ESPN put forth the H.O.R.S.E, I guess you could call competition. Wally, they should have, the way it looked, you could not have been any worse than what we saw last night. You should have been in that.
You're so negative, Bill. Honestly, I flipped it on. I thought it took a little bit too much time in between shots. I liked a little bit of trash talking. I thought that was really good. But listen, we're in trying times right now, and you got to try something to try to get some personalities out there on TV. It was good seeing guys like Trae Young, old guys that I competed with and were teammates with, and Chauncey Billups, Paul Pierce, and Tamika Catchings and Quigley. Obviously they can play and obviously they can shoot. So I think it needs a little bit of tweaking here and there. I think Zach LaVine is brilliant with the way he's manipulating the rules a little bit. And if you can't dunk, well, not too many people can jump up, touch the board, and then do a reverse layup, even though it's like a dunk. Not too many people can go through their legs and even do a layup, let alone the dunk. So Zach LaVine's got a little bit of an advantage. He's doing a good job of taking that advantage. And I like seeing the guys kind of courts in their backyard because, I remember the court that I was shooting up in the backyard. It was just nailed up against my garage. It scaled up towards the rim, so it was about 10 feet when you were shooting from the free throw line. But then when you got around the rim, it was about 9'8". So I was able to dunk in like 8th, 9th grade thanks to that little ramp that moved up. So I enjoyed just kind of seeing where guys, have their outdoor hoops in their backyard. And I think it needs a little bit of tweaking. Obviously, it being streamed online is tough. Guys have their computers they're talking into. But, hey, we'll see how it continues to go.
Huge edge for Mike Conley, don't you think, Michelle, with the indoor gym?
Yeah,
Huge.
I was going to say, I loved actually what you were saying, Wally, getting to see like what each court, how they varied it. And Zach LaVine, as you were mentioning, like not only did he have his full court, but he also had like a batting cage with a ton of baseball bats, and like he could transition. He was saying how growing up he was actually a better baseball player than he was a basketball player. I loved Paul Pierce bringing his little like rolly scooter up. Like I definitely thought there was an entertainment factor to it as well. They'll have to fine tune a little bit, but that's why that they have another episode coming up and they'll be the finals. So overall, I give it like a B.
Come on, guys. First of all, Trae Young, are you kidding me? An NBA player?
My hoop's better than his hoop.
That was mine. I went outside and I was like, I have a better hoop than he does. How's that possible?
He's on his rookie contract, Hahn. Relax.
I'm not even on a contract. What are you talking about? Come on, man. Like that. Like you can't
That's
go
a huge advantage having a rim that's down like that. He's taking advantage of his home court.
And Allie Quigley, by the way, went backboard because that thing just kept moving every time she hit it. You know those soft backboards, those soft Holy Trinity rims, Wally? You remember those rims. Like those are the best rims to shoot on because they're soft and you can just drop it right in. That's the home court advantage. That's kind of the fun part of it. But if I'm Trae Young, I'm a little embarrassed. I got to be honest with you. He's got like some huffy backboard going on while he's going up against like Chauncey. How about that setup by Mr. Big Shot? That's a sweet backyard. But look, the fun part was the trash talk. That was fun. Zach LaVine, Paul Pierce, they were having fun with it. That was cool. Some of the storytelling as well. And I agree, seeing what's the setup of some of these guys was nice. But Mike Conley, that was unfair advantage. No question about it. He was the one guy that was indoors and in our actual gym. And so he better have won that contest.
You know what's interesting? A lot of this, in terms of being able to participate, is that those who were able to compete actually had access to baskets. Steph Curry, I just read he had to just install a hoop in his driveway because he's got no access, Wally, to a basket to keep shooting. And the same goes for Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton of the Bucks. I mean, all kidding aside, it's been a real challenge for these guys to get up their shots because they have no access to team facilities.
I could see that. When I lived in Minnesota for 6.5, 7 years, I didn't have a basket outside my yard. Same was when I moved to Boston and then when I was in Cleveland. So I always used the practice facility. That was the place I used to go to when I needed to get extra shots and wanted to get extra shots. So these are trying times. They really are.
And it's not just basketball. Steve Valiquette was saying last week that hockey players need ice and they're not getting the reps that they're not able to skate. You can maybe rollerblade, but I don't know if that's really the same equivalent. But you're not getting that opportunity to be out there to get comfortable, loose on the ice again. So it's a problem across all sports.
You should see my son. My son's a hockey player, and he's got me looking online for inline skates that are $250 saying, no, I need this. He's like Pookie from New Jack City. He'd be calling me. He wants the ice so bad. And so I got to lay out a couple of $100 for inline skates that he'll use for hopefully not a very long time, just so he can get some skating in. It's hard for the hockey players, but I think for basketball guys as well, to get the shots up. The fact that the leagues are going to want to start up pretty quickly, that's the question about the winter sports leagues is how fast can these guys get back into game shape, get comfortable, and actually play for a championship? That's why the longer this goes, the harder it is to believe they'll actually be able to finish out the winter seasons.
I just wonder too, we talk about, maybe there would be an opportunity where these winter seasons, they would just go straight to the playoffs. Like, from an injury standpoint, I feel like that makes you so susceptible to you're going from 0 to 100 out of nowhere, giving it all you have in these high stakes and risking like massive injuries. I think they need a certain amount, either a training camp or something, to get used to playing again with one another and just get those hits in and those things that you mentioned, a couple of times. My
issue has been hamstring strains going to and from the refrigerator. I don't know if you guys are. Problem.
Got to backpedal from the fridge.
How's the back, Bill? How's the back?
Back is rock solid, and we're just getting started here on the MSG 150 at home. Up next, a look back to Super Bowl 42. It was on yesterday on Fox, and some perspective on the significance of the Giants' huge upset of the Patriots when we come back after this.